We in Philadelphia were so lucky to have a seamless transition back about 15 years ago from Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor to Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown. It was done in one draft. And we've been trying to find the replacements for Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown now for how long? Jeez. So basically the main point is it's not easy to build cornerbacks. And I got I got all of the cornerbacks that the Eagles have drafted since 2003. All right, so I'll get into Rasul Douglas, I'll get into Sidney Jones in a couple minutes, but let me just run down how terrible it's been. We haven't drafted any good cornerbacks in forever. 2004, Matt Ware in the 3rd round. Dexter Wynn was taken in the 6th round. 2007, 6th rounder Rashad Barksdale. 2008, 4th round, Jake Ikegwonu. Now, I remember Ikegwonu. I actually liked him coming out of Wisconsin, but he had a big injury, I believe, ACL tear, if I remember correctly, and he never amounted to anything. I remember liking this pick a lot, so I'm not going to hate on it. 2009, they moved them to safety, 5th round, Macho Harris. 2010, 4th rounder, Trevard Lindley. Oh, Trevard Lindley. 2011, this is the worst of the worst. Curtis Marsh, 3rd round. Curtis Marsh taken with the 90th pick overall. Rasul Douglas was taken 99th overall, just to give you a comparison there. 2012, 4th rounder, Brandon Boykin, good here for a little bit, and then just kind of vanished. 2013, 7th rounder, Jordan Poyer. Poyer has actually made himself into a solid safety, but did not pan out here in Philadelphia. 2014, 4th rounder, Jalen Watkins, another one that has transitioned to safety. 2015 NFL draft, we know about Eric Rowe. That's the only guy that's been taken in the 2nd round since 2003, is Eric Rowe. 2015 as well, pair of 6th rounders, neither of them panned out. Ja'Cory Shepherd, Randall Evans. 2016, last year, Blake Countess. He's not on the team. But Jalen Mills is. So Jalen Mills, 7th rounder. That might have been our best pick since 2004. How about that? So as you can see, a lot of misses. All right, a lot of misses. So we can't just assume that Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas are going to pan out. That's why I wanted the Eagles to take another cornerback. I really wanted, a guy in the 4th round. I wasn't, what was it? Who did they take? Mac Hollins and Donnell Pumphrey in the 4th round. I wanted another cornerback just to get another one, just in case Rasul Douglas or Sidney Jones don't pan out. Now, I think Sidney Jones is going to be a sure thing, okay? So I think he's going to be fine. We'll see what happens. I mean, if you've seen the film study, this film study that I did speaks for itself. I think Sidney Jones is going to be a stud. Rasul Douglas, on the other hand, we shall see. 17 cornerback taken overall. His development is really imperative to be able to have a pair of starting corners for this defense, all right? Because if you look at the numbers from last year, the pass defense numbers actually weren't that bad, and it was because of the pass rush up front. So if you look at last year, 85.7 quarterback rating against, that was 11th in the NFL, and they registered 38 sacks, which was 9th. So despite the quick passing game, and that's what kind of beat them down the stretch, they were still able to put up like respectable numbers with shitty cornerbacks. So if you get development from Jones and Douglas by next season, if these guys are your 2 starters and they play good football, all of a sudden those hurries are going to start turning into sacks because, well, teams are not going to – if the Eagles can consistently stop the quick passing game, that's going to give the rushers more time to get to the quarterback, which is in turn going to help out the cornerbacks. And the difference between this defense of Jim Schwartz and the one from 15 years ago of, obviously, Jim Johnson, rest in peace, Jim Johnson, heavy blitzer. So Sidney Jones, Rasul Douglas, they won't be asked to be out on an island as much. Rush 4, drop back 7. These guys are going to have help. It's not going to be like it was 15 years ago. And that's kind of the way defenses are now. A lot of blitzing almost hurts defenses now with the way the quick passing game is now and how quarterbacks can really pick you apart. So there's that. I think I basically said what I wanted to say. I mean, it's basically, if they get good cornerback play, I mean, I think that's the one big weakness on this roster is cornerback. And if you start getting good cornerback play next year, all of a sudden this team's looking pretty damn dangerous. So it's looking really dangerous if Sidney Jones, Rasul Douglas, they pan out, because this defensive line over the next couple of years, it's looking nasty. You got Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett, if he pans out, can be a great pass rusher. You still got Brandon Graham. We'll see what happens with Timmy Jernigan. But the defensive line really starting to come together. And if you get those cornerbacks and they start playing really well and you can't do the quick passing game, everything's just going to work itself together, man. So there's a unity, there's a bond between the defensive line and the cornerbacks. So still have Marcus Smith. Ha! But that's the thing. Jones and Douglas, they have to pan out. They have to pan out. That's the key. Now, you can always draft more cornerbacks next year if you really want to, but Douglas and Jones, man, it's huge. It's imperative. I think their development is almost more important than anything on this roster because it helps with the pass rush. This pass rush is great, but the pass rush is negated with the quick passing game. But you start stopping the quick passing game more consistently, that helps the pass rush get to the quarterback. So that's that. All right, DGB dealt for $5. I don't even think he's worth $5. You think they should start Rasul Douglas? Actually, this is something that Brendan and I talked about on our last show, on our, what was it, the Eagles camp battles, rookie camp battles. Thing about Rasul Douglas, he's got a little bit of a tougher transition than other corners because he came from the Big 12, came from a lot of spread offenses, and the spread offenses, they don't run a lot of different routes. Also, played a lot of zone at West Virginia, played in a 3-3-5 defense, played a lot of cover. Do you like my profile picture? What's that, Barnett? Anyway, back to what I was talking about. I got to stop looking at the comments. It always makes me lose my train of thought. Jesus, what was I just talking about? Rasul Douglas, 3-3-5. Okay, so he played a lot of zone. It's going to be a little bit tougher transition. Did you say I was gay? Somebody said I was gay. Why am I gay? What the fuck? Or unless you were talking to somebody in the comments. So I think Rasul is going to be a guy that might start midway through the year. I want to see Rasul win that starting job. I want it to be Rasul, Patrick Robinson, Jalen Mills in the slot. That's what I want. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Rasul's got a little bit of a learning curve. So, okay. All right, good. I thought you were calling me gay. I'm like, what the fuck? What did I do? See, that's what I get, looking at comments. But yeah, man, Rasul, I think by midseason he'll be starting. So, you could have had Mixon. It's fine. I'd rather have Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones is 10 times more important to this football team than Joe Mixon could be. So, that's the way I feel about that. By next season, Jones, Rasul Douglas, they should be your two starters on the outside. I'm hoping. And by that time, if they're playing well, again, that pass rush, it's the defensive line, it's coming together. It's looking scary. It's one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And if you want to maximize production from that defensive line, you better make sure you get some good cornerback play. So, I missed that. If that was a no for Jalen Mills in the slot, I think he'd be good in the slot. So, Spadero loves the whole draft class. Spadero loves everything that the Eagles do. I bet he loved and praised the Curtis Marsh pick when we picked him. If he's too slow, how will he guard people like Cole Beasley? Well, Malcolm Jenkins couldn't guard Cole Beasley. Couldn't cover him. Too quick for him, too. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins does get torts in the slot. So, what are you talking about, bro? I guess I'm missing the conversation. Whatever. I don't think that's for me. All right, I'm out. I've had enough. Bye. Tony's going to be doing a video in an hour, by the way. So make sure you tune in for that. He's going to do a video on Mike Schmidt. He's an asshole. Fuck him.